I, real reggae lover, Zaga.
Open a Sagicor Bank savings account from anywhere. Go online and open yours today.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
7 o'clock.
CVM News Headlines Monday brought to you by Hawkeye Electronic Security Limited.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, call it Andrew. PNP challenges Prime Minister to call general election. JLP accuses PNP of spreading propaganda. Former DCP, now TCI Chief Fitz Bailey speaks. We're also previewing our lead story Prime, looking at the anatomy of the Jamaican pothole. In the business report, it's small biz, big dreams. While in sports, why Jamaican women athletes could soon be subject to swab tests to compete professionally in athletics.
CVM News Headlines Monday brought to you by Hawkeye Electronic Security Limited.
Do it for your best life. Go check your HIV status. So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me I tell yourself do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom. Coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan. Do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Monday, February 10, 2025. Thanks for having joined us. I'm Nika Lewis. The People's National Party is calling on the government to immediately call a general election, rejecting recent poll numbers that show it trailing the Jamaica Labour Party. With speculation mounting about a possible July election, the PNP is questioning the credibility of the figures and accusing the government of manipulating public perception. Ramon Gordon has our lead story.
The People's National Party has launched a bold challenge of recent polls, purportedly showing it trailing the governing Jamaica Labour Party by 5.8 percentage points. The bombshell figures emerged on social media at the weekend, putting the JLP at 38.5% and the PNP at 32.7%, just months ahead of what's expected to be a historic general contest. The PNP is crying foul, questioning the credibility of the figures in a press release. Here's a post from the opposition leader on Sunday.
Call it Andrew, call it, and I man will sound the trumpet.
The latest developments come amid growing suspicions that a general election could be called by July. The speculation was further fueled by comments from St. Catherine West Central MP Dr. Christopher Tufton at a JLP Area Council 2 meeting in Anotta Bay on Sunday.
For the next 4 or 5 months, until the leader call it, we have to be bold. If you never used to call the calling program, start calling them now. If you never used to write letter to the leader, start writing now. It is time to show your colors and your intention and that you are supporting the Jamaica Labour Party.
The next 4 to 5 months. Could we be looking at a summer election? Last October, Prime Minister Andrew Holness launched a blistering attack on the People's National Party, accusing it of trying to mislead Jamaicans. Speaking at a West St. Catherine conference, Holness claimed that the Mark Golding-led PNP was using polls to manipulate public perception.
Now, mind you, it's not me say so. Go on YouTube and see the explanation as to how them use poll to manipulate views and perspective to get their own way. We do not do that.
The allegation is this time on the other foot. Attempts to reach the JLP General Secretary Dr. Horace Chang unsuccessful up to news time. Ramon Gordon for CVM News.
Still on politics, Courtney Lewis now joins me in studio, giving us more on what took place in the political arena at the weekend.
Well, Nika, as we heard in previous reports, the pressure is mounting for the Prime Minister to call a general election. It's constitutionally due this year. But amid what seems to be some political tit-for-tat, the Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP, is asserting confidence in their ability to win, accusing the People's National Party of spreading propaganda. The People's National Party, however, has hit back at the claims, saying the Jamaica Labour Party is launching a smear campaign to distract from their own corrupt activities. Jamaica Labour Party, the JLP, has launched its latest political missile at the opposition People's National Party, the PNP, this time accusing the party of playing propaganda as the country nears a general election. An area council meeting in central Kingston on Sunday saw a passionate display of discontent with the PNP's campaigning strategies among JLP representatives.
The PNP, over the last many months, have gone on a campaign of propaganda, misinformation, wickedness. They have tried to undermine everything that the Prime Minister has done. The social housing program. They have weaponized reports coming from the Integrity Commission.
The onslaught continued with the St. Andrew MP defending the reputation of the Prime Minister, referring to the Integrity Commission's findings on Estate Bridge Holdings, a company of which the Prime Minister was previously a director.
But the PNP have used those reports and weaponized it and telling lies. Telling people how Andrew Holness is corrupt, how much wrongdoing, how much illicit enrichment, how much thief, how much money in thief. All of it, pure nastiness.
The assault comes just a few days after People's National Party chairman Dr. Angela Brownberg threatened legal action against the Labour Party's, quote, reckless propaganda campaign. The Jamaica Labour Party recently called for the resignation of PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell and further demanded answers from Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby after allegations of using municipal funds for party activities.
We have full confidence in our General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, and the Mayor of Kingston, His Worship, Councillor Andrew Swaby, who have been unjustly targeted. These malicious and politically motivated accusations without a shred of credible evidence are nothing more than a cowardly attempt to deflect attention from the JLP's governance failures and corruption scandals.
She points the corruption finger back at the JLP and calls for law enforcement to clarify its investigations into the PNP leadership, if there be any. Meanwhile, the People's National Party affirms its commitment to transparency.
The PNP will not be distracted by the JLP's desperate attempts to shift focus from their failures. We remain committed to good governance, transparency, and ensuring that public funds serve the Jamaican people, not political deception and corruption.
Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
Boy, Courtney, it seems to be polls under pressure. What do you make of these polling issues?
Well, Nika, polls are an effective tool. I would say they're definitely a tool to test the political temperature. But as for what will happen in the general election, we leave Jamaicans to tell. I mean, the polls are saying one thing. I think what Jamaicans really want to see is an independently commissioned poll, and that will kind of help them to understand what the climate is. Predictions are definitely out there due to the results of the last local government election, but as I said, we leave Jamaicans to tell.
Right, there you have it. Well, following the police fatal shooting of 2 men last week, their relatives continue to hope for a reasonable outcome. Their brother is also defending the men's characters, refuting claims on social media. Trisha Gay Kelly has this follow-up.
In Jamaica, the sight of a pothole-riddled road is all too familiar to commuters, drivers and pedestrians alike. From bustling city streets to rural highways, the state of the nation's infrastructure is a topic of growing concern. While road construction projects are ongoing, the challenge of maintaining and upgrading the roads often feels like a never-ending battle. For many, navigating Jamaica's roads has become a daily test of patience, agility and sometimes even safety. Join us this evening at 8 for Lead Story Prime as we explore the impact of potholes and road construction on the Jamaican public, the efforts being made to improve the roads, and the road ahead.
Frustration and anger boiled over in Swallowfield, St. Andrew as placard-bearing residents protested against alleged police brutality, demanding accountability and an end to excessive force. But as Britannia Witter reports, the police say they were unaware of those incidents, urging residents to file formal complaints.
Tensions flared on Sunday as residents of Providence Pen Lane and Spalding Lane in Swallowfield took to the streets protesting alleged police brutality. The protest, organized by concerned residents, was fueled by claims that 3 officers from the St. Andrew Central Police Division had been involved in aggressive encounters with the residents.
The 13th of September, my son come out of the house and I sell some juice. By the time going back inside, the police kick the gate open and shoot him in the back. Say a shootout. From there, so them take my son and lock him up over 5 months. Linton shoot my son over 5 months now since my son then and lock up.
The protesters voiced their outrage over the alleged mistreatment, demanding accountability and a change in how police interact with the community. Among those present was Member of Parliament Julian Robinson, who urged law enforcement to do their work but do it professionally.
The problem is the actions of some policemen, and I'm not going to say it's every policeman. There are about 3 names of certain policemen who are behaving very unprofessionally. And I want to say at the outset, none of the residents are saying that the police mustn't do their work. In fact, the residents welcome the police presence, but there are some policemen who are not conducting their responsibilities professionally. We had a situation here where they broke off the grill for a door, they took down people's cameras, they took some men from the community, drove them through another community which is in conflict with this one.
Robinson shared that he spoke with the commanding officer for the division.
I've spoken to the commanding officer for St. Andrew Central, DSP Harris, and I've indicated the concerns that the residents have. And I hope some action can be taken. It's been going on for weeks, months now. Do your job, but just do it professionally.
His remarks echoed the sentiments of many residents who expressed frustration over what they describe as a pattern of unwarranted aggression from the police.
Come here and not terrorize the woman or business place. And say she have to lock it down because of who black clean. The woman have nothing. We're tired of them. If them have problem with the man, them come and make the people them know them have problem. Make the people them come in to them and them deal with what them have to deal with. We not stop them from do them business. But them come and fire shot in a lane where how much people they are something.
However, the St. Andrew Central Police Division's commanding officer DSP Mark Harris denied any knowledge of the reported incidents. In a brief interview with CVM News, Harris said, "I am unaware of any such incidents involving police brutality in the area." He urged residents to come to him and make formal reports. Britannia Witter, CVM News.
We take a break. More CVM News at 7 in a moment.
Join my private room. Only $1,000 for a grand time.
That I know me. We never said that. But who go and believe me?
That is correct. $4,350,000. Yes, go ahead. $4 million? I never approved that.
Yes, me go doctor tomorrow. So me have to get the money today, no longer. Then no me face that. Me never make no record or beg nobody no money.
Deepfakes are AI-generated images and videos made to look and sound like people we know and trust. They're used to spread misinformation, destroy reputations, and are used to commit fraud and scams. Don't fall victim to deepfakes. Protect yourself. For more information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or scan the QR code on screen.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Welcome back. And on a sad note, following the police fatal shooting of 2 men last week, their relatives continue to hope for a reasonable outcome. Their brother is also defending the men's characters, refuting claims on social media. Trisha Gay Kelly has this follow-up.
It's been almost a week since 2 brothers were killed in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. And though days have passed since the incident, the family is still struggling to cope. However, the brothers' deaths are only one of the few issues that now scar the family as they try to battle allegations that the brothers were involved in criminal activities. A relative pointed out that a particular media house falsely labeled one of the brothers, identifying him as a known drug dealer in England. However, his brother says this information is in no way accurate.
And I wish to clarify that he is not a deportee from England and he has never traveled to the UK. Right? He has never traveled to the UK before. And because when he applied for his passport, he later learned that his identity was stolen. Right? So that's when the investigation started, and he was the process was placed on hold because we were doing the investigation and everything.
The process was completed approximately 2 weeks before the incident. He also says the circulation of various accusations online have forced them to prove their relatives' innocence at the time of the incident. In previous conversation with the police, we were informed that the men engaged in a shootout with members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. However, the relatives are denying that claim. They say residents in the community who witnessed the ordeal have highlighted the issue but are afraid to speak up.
It makes me wonder, as a brother, as a citizen of this country, just to see how, the whole orchestration of how the operation was done, and then say that, 2 guns were found. It leaves a lot of questions, and I say that I can't bring them back, but at the same time, it's so cliche and redundant to hear the same thing being regurgitated.
He adds that his faith in the justice system has dwindled and is hoping for a fair treatment of the situation.
Same thing being regurgitated, and it makes you wonder who is the next target. I'm just looking at the fact that my 2 brothers are not here, and I can see down the line that it's going to happen to someone else. It's going to happen to someone else, and that if it happens to anyone else, they probably will not be in the position to fully, get justice. So it has to stop somewhere.
The relative says the police have since visited the community and the family, but he believes there's very little hope in finding justice. Trisha Gay Kelly, CVM News.
And now we have something special in store for you. The first episode of our lead story Prime starts tonight at 8 p.m. Here's a look at what's to come.
In Jamaica, the sight of a pothole-riddled road is all too familiar to commuters, drivers and pedestrians alike. From bustling city streets to rural highways, the state of the nation's infrastructure is a topic of growing concern. While road construction projects are ongoing, the challenge of maintaining and upgrading the roads often feels like a never-ending battle. For many, navigating Jamaica's roads has become a daily test of patience, agility and sometimes even safety. Join us this evening at 8 for Lead Story Prime as we explore the impact of potholes and road construction on the Jamaican public, the efforts being made to improve the roads, and the road ahead to a smoother, safer journey for all.
Well, joining us on set is George, the man of action at 8 o'clock. George, here to tell us more about the Prime. What is Lead Story Prime?
For a moment there, I thought you were going to call me the pothole man, but thank God for that. So, Lead Story Prime, it's a first installment of a three-part series. We're looking at potholes, not looking at how they germinate, but looking at the attention to the road infrastructure over time, the inattention to certain things, the bad workmanship, the poor planning, poor coordination among respective government agencies that have led to the perennial problems of the roads being pockmarked, being pothole-ridden for decades across administrations. Nobody can crack the code. So we're looking at what has brought us to this point now, and how the authorities can use best practices to ensure that the future is not as pockmarked, pothole-ridden as the present and the past certainly have been.
And I'm excited to see it, George, because it's not just highlighting a challenge, but potentially solutions.
Yes, if you were to go to the Bible, it's not just lamentations we're doing. We're not just talking about, oh my God, it's pothole-ridden the roads are. It's about, okay, getting experts to say, okay, the alternative to the way the roads have been repaired is this. The government can pursue this. And in pursuing this, these are the better set of outcomes that can be realized so we have better roads to drive on now and in the future. So it's a three-part series starting tonight, 8 o'clock. It's a special edition of Lead Story. They call it Lead Story Prime.
All right. Tell the people why they must tune in tonight.
Well, you must tune in because you are going to get a pothole journey looking at the mistakes that have been made. The experts will pronounce on what those mistakes are. And of course, we won't end the three-part series without looking at the possible solutions. And the program will talk to the stakeholders. It will talk to you, of course, telling you what the situation is, giving you a pretty frank assessment of the state of the nation's roads. But there'll be a lot in it for the stakeholders to take the expertise that they can count on to help them to build better roads, to maintain the roads, and of course to have the kind of workmanship and supervision on the roads when repairs are to be done to ensure that those repairs accord with the best standards and best practices so we don't have the long-term degradation that have caused the problems that we're complaining about now.
Well said, and you should watch.
Thank you.
Well, we take a break. More CVM News at 7 in just a moment.
Where the difference is made, where titles are decided, where respect is earned. Excel here and you could go down in history. It's the final third. CVM TV's weekly JPL preview show every Sunday, starting 30 minutes before our live broadcast. Get insight, analysis, and hear from your favorite players weekly, just before we bring you our feature broadcast for the day. Move from defense to attack and join us in the final third. This and every Sunday until the end of the JPL season.
The road is not a pothole, it's a pit.
When me a drive last week in the road, Mono man, me say I can't get wing.
The pothole then deep, then jerk. People ball for them back in the taxi, no matter how slow you go.
We need some help and not tomorrow or next week. We need it right now.
Damage to car tires, bumpy car rides, and traffic frustration. Potholes and bad roads have become the unavoidable thorn in the flesh of the Jamaican motorists. But why? And can Jamaica turn the page to an era of better roads with new road work projects? Well, Lead Story is here to investigate. Join George Davis from February 10 to 12 at 8 p.m. for our lead story special, the story of the Jamaican pothole. See it happen right here on CVM TV.
Reggae is global. Reggae is everywhere.
Yeah, reggae is my life, you know, because if it's reggae, I'm not sure I'm not a walk out thing there or something.
We have something which the world crave even right now. Reggae is internationally known.
I am a Jamaican.
Rise with sunrise. Miss Kitty and Dennis are powering through the week. We start your morning with a checkup, then grab your bags. We'll explore Jamaica in Destination Tuesday. Make sure you're sharp. It's the return of the only morning game show, Sunrise Freshers. Then we'll wrap your morning with something wacky. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Thanks so much for staying with us. A look now at regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. In the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, in a post to his Facebook page, cautioned the Caribbean region to remain alert for possible significant aftershocks following the 7.6 magnitude earthquake north of Honduras on Saturday. More from TTT News.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, in a post to his Facebook page, cautioned the Caribbean region to remain alert for possible significant aftershocks following the 7.6 magnitude earthquake offshore on Honduras on Saturday. The Prime Minister, who has a doctorate in geology, said we are lucky to have experienced such a big shake at shallow depth without it causing any damage or destruction. He noted the Cayman Trench structural fracture zone remains an active plate margin of the small but well-defined Caribbean plate, so the potential for significant seismic activity in the region remains a natural hazard that comes with the territory.
In Guyana, the United States has been a key partner for Guyana, boosting security efforts, including in the protection of the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And it is believed that this strong partnership is necessary to help combat regional security challenges. Here's Newsroom Guyana.
And this partnership and this relationship is what I would call is at an all-time high. It's best in the history of our country and is the best time in the history of the relationship between Guyana and the United States of America. And President Ali has said repeatedly that whilst we will continue to work with our friends, with our allies, near and far, traditional, and those we are seeking to develop new relations, the one partner and the one ally that has a very special and will continue to have an elevated place in our relationship will be the United States of America.
In international news, Hamas says it's delaying the release of Israeli hostages until further notice. It says it's a response to Israel breaching the Gaza ceasefire agreement, which began last month. The latest from the BBC.
Look, we've had a statement from Hamas, from a spokesman, saying they're going to plan at the minute, remember this is only Monday, but they plan to postpone the next phase of hostage releases, which would have been due this Saturday. Now, the first phase of the ceasefire agreement has brought very concrete dividends so far for both sides. 21 Israeli hostages have been released in exchange for more than 500 Palestinian prisoners. But in total during this first phase, 33 hostages were due to be released. Only 21 have been released so far, so we would have been due another 3 this coming Saturday. But according to the Hamas statement, it is the failure of the Israelis, they call them the occupiers, and the occupation to abide by the terms of the ceasefire. And what they're referring to in their statement are a couple of incidents over recent days and weeks in Gaza where people have still been attacked and shot and killed in certain circumstances by Israeli troops. They're also alleging, Hamas, that not enough promised aid has made it through to Gaza, although there has been a huge increase in the amount of aid getting through since the ceasefire started. And Hamas also say there have been restrictions in the ability of people to go back to their home areas, although, again, that is something that's clearly improved, as we were reporting over the weekend. I think what this goes to show is that both sides are starting to square up to each other now as we get to the end of the critical first phase of the ceasefire.
That's it for regional and international news. I'm Courtney Lewis.
We take another break. Stay with us.
Mobile app, brave as I said hop. With the mobile app, you feel know you can't flop the app. In a happiness, cause what? My GPS app easy, turn a riddle my light off it bright and it moon. If I want thing me love me GPS app, me I tell you about it in the tune. My GPS app easy, turn a riddle for me light off it bright and it moon. If I want thing me love me GPS app, yeah we fully outside with the crew. GPS, pouring what matters.
We a big deal when we touch the ground. Yeah, a KFC when we pulling up. Anything for the taste of a KFC, big deal. The time by KFC is
7:30.
Hey you know all the people in your business.
You should take advantage of CVM TV's unbeatable small business advertising package. Trust me.
And get your goods and services in front of your customers today.
For $150,000, you get a high-quality professional commercial.
Plus 20 prime-time commercial spots.
That's massive exposure at a fraction of the cost.
Including on the #1 morning show in Jamaica, Sunrise.
So don't wait. Call us on 658-208-5377 and see your business goals happen right here on CVM Television.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Well, the spa services market is currently valued at over $147 billion globally, as people are always seeking ways to de-stress. One esthetician from St. Elizabeth tells us about her soothing practices, from binaural music to the latest in skincare technology. Adrian Williams goes beneath the surface in this Small Biz feature.
This week's Small Biz feature will showcase an entrepreneur who masters the art of soothing and relaxation. On the outskirts of Black River, St. Elizabeth, upstairs in the Bennett's Plaza, you can find this getaway, Tazen's Spot. We spoke with Executive Director Shante Miller, who explains her 3-year-old business.
We want to create luxury and relaxation for everyone. So when they come in, of course, they are satisfied.
And the music?
Yes. So 2 friends, husband and wife, whatever it is, you know. Somebody come in first, somebody come in second, it's work. Because for a service like this, an hour or 45 minutes, depends if you're polishing or not. So everything, relaxation, just to have it a Zen feeling. So if you know what Zen means, you know what it means?
It says calming and relaxing.
Calming, relaxing, but tranquil and humble.
Yeah.
Now our logo says where tranquility meets elegance, right? So we try to follow as much as we can.
Unlike many small businesses, Shante made use of a marketing service to aid in her business development and strategy. She teamed up with VK Vision, who we interviewed recently. So apart from a marketing strategy and the perforated vinyl scene here, she tells us more.
I'll show you. So we have our brochure, which is recently done. All right, so you will see everything here. It was done by him. So we're Tranquility Meets Elegance. We have our link tree at the front and also to the back with the address. Right. So inside, what you notice, how VK Vision came about with this idea was we did a photo shoot. So the photo shoot was done by VK Vision, where we included only our pictures inside of it, right? Just to make sure that persons understand where they're coming, what they're going to see, and also what they're going to experience.
Let's now journey into